Awie ya da mo sese munya bretwen me yekoto nkra ya be braso se bedwafo abe yedi nkomo pa nansa na no ene ochina rather ochina aye Joyce Agimfra una CEO Edema Serenity Beach Resort a ewo Sakumo no ochina aye wawoda enti Joyce ye Agimfra busua ni nyina se men kan kire so ma happy birthday in advance Joyce Agimfra Onyankopon enhyira wo Oma wa hoden enkwatenten oma wo soro nyansa na fatina asase so na bo life nso ka ho wo Agimfra busia na ka so pe life de daw na sa bo life ni bi ka ho na enye fe nti Joyce Agimfra una CEO Edema Serenity Beach Resort Sakumo no happy birthday in advance me nkasa so bi ka ho bi we show happy birthday in advance pa na menua baako jane papa kwan wo krono po December achim something oh mama hwe we de mama hwe na men kansa na aha achim krono achim kuro ya mbiro afidi say nyo adan na wo yesa ni wabrim enti eno no eye owura Donald Buadi do na frɛ no Achim Buadi ono da from ya ye gya ne kwakra enti Detective Chief Inspector Yemanar Frimpong awo Ashaman District CID wona say ade atowani enti we de me amenu ayima Emmanuel Asem se men kan kire se oya wakonta se o mawo shedin pa mawo shedin papa na fe mi amenu aba Alex wi adwuma Bank of Ghana onso papa da fam asese so na ye gya ne kwan enne ye na yi na nti no Alex e mawo shedin pa se de me di kan e kan ye no na no pay ebedwafo abeka mensa wa ha ma me ne wo mu na ebedi nkomo yi na ne mi benkum so happy no abante mi hu na che nka na ye ne ba anajo oye ye no wayi mi ama na enya hwe me ye osu aborobo me ya akorobeto enya akorobeto na ne hwene kakraka no me hwene efe me wo fe ha enya akorobeto ne kakraka na akorobeto ma che mo ma ke obedi matem ba hwene etan akorobeto me ya akorobeto to koy na wasaba beto me wa ha enti ene enkomodie no ho pa na ana me hu ache sa
ajami ado me hu ye
we sure
na say me hu ye enche sa
ache
e bi efia ha
but na the whole of this year me hu
we sure
yes
okay last year ni share
I some ketwa last year share tan try wo so no ye brief we am ko there
ajami ado
e dey hu ase abrantia me boni dey fa na Erika Makutwum oye communication team member de ma NPP amayeko no NPP mu no ono ye macho pa ono na de macho ni ye normal original macho hwe bono se mema bo pa structure no so boa no ha nti no dem bi se ma start ye training en chairman ne be pe me ye macho mafro na ekese nti eno achi so ye wo ononyafo Peter ya kwache aka wono na eye Amafi Central emrahye bedwani wono eye ndi semrahye bedwani emrahye bedwam na ono so odi ama yosam achi ache yie pa nti wono so ewo ye nchen wa ha ene ye bedi nko wona bo akwaba
ya be de
constitute bibia boko
enya boko
yesi wunyi
minyi
yesi said ye otie ye hu tetetete no sa na otie secret ni bia wo
secret no and in chambers
constituency we want to say
we are dear man so do say mainly cocoa producing area
sure
na and then by course hit you on hard say cocoa so cry to into on cat into I say free nti ama ahokyere pa atom so ya kwan nyina so atete apansan ti ana MP no e de pressure kese ato yeso
atom so
yes nti eno ni ade a enye asempapa ma yakura ba ye ho kire
na eno no enye wiase nyina na oha no ewo mu ti se ka wiase nyina de senso e beka yibi ti ye dan a
winia efei na ewiase ensem no ebe hagana na Saturday nyina na ewiase ha wo ho enso na yenkase ho kire yesa ana samre de na wiase how be any ho no wiase how de ebe ho every time it na be so be fa kwan bi a wo so be hwe a obetete wo I see about football match on your co plan ne strategies so be show also strategies so be show it your coaches no na coach ni coach we are then you win it you find problems into might be because those things will be there all the time it enam kwan a be fa so a e be take advantage and yema air cost they don't take advantage now to be covid by crobin ma take advantage the advantage na kra nya ye no ya bomodi ma advantage na be disadvantage enti enua enye ewiase afanem na emu ayedin a ama Ghana so esi ayetan a yentumi engiem koko no you produce all the time na why say yentumi tuaka koko no abrochire
na say yes akwaje syndicated loan bi
loan
ye de ba be
na oji loan no afa nkotuaka na de koya de fufura it doesn't
I see
work
until still loan no aba scanaba ba want to be fan to koko no
to koko no yentua na ready cash that is a fact hontiema ekwani or swan koko abana or ye na wuntua ka there's no excuse at all
I see
ni kwa say my excuse
chum wotie ayi opani asem o kan yi a koko so koko ekuafo bre enka topic no na so e den aka ye de be wuram
so be fi baby a yedu akoko
oh you are
koko
aha nti what all mo to aka cash ready
you see you say sometimes you say politics they be make say principles you can say what dream
and so obia wo susudua ode na braba to ho
exactly and empempi bibi wo ho na say wo kan ese ye hwe na ye kan ewo ne seso se de wo ka say amansan nyina nyema ekoso amansan nyina no enya ade a ebetimi aha Ghana no so wo kan sa na che say bia se one kan ni ye on ne no corridor so de make anwati ase if you say if we be global economy na global economy no niema bebre na yekika bom na ema omamuni nyina no yekọ yenim na me no ka say kra so wo hwe ensema am say topics amode man no kra ka ho niema ekoso ewo Ukraine ne Russia ntema affect oil prices crude oil say and nam $105 into wo ka say crude oil prices are $105 and affect Ghana be affect Ghana if you say yes you to oil maybe even though say you produce oil wa ha no yeah so we a net your friend is saying calculation yes you to oil maybe and sometimes some of this conversation say I say a year educational church or man for about nyema ekoso abemu and I say governance na yen common no ya twe ya dwen akosi saade no so nim da ene no all come me te say koko no ya to a yentua ka
and no de ye kwa ya hu news wa ha
yes but you know who say there was structure ya de to koko omo the friend no LBCs mebo LBCs no ena omo wo former omo ne farmers no ana say ekuafo no edi nkita ho na oto koko na okariria sika o so de ma no den or the amount until if there were issues with specific areas I'm sure say you betimi apekwan bi so na yaso
and yes no tell say koko ekuafo na you see
but to say ye to koko another buy to koko ontua kado I don't believe say true I feel so no o pese ye de ya membo when it comes to even cocoa management to NDC for their one in terms of nneɛma a yɛde toto akwan mu nneɛma a mmoa a yɛde ma ekuafoɔ nansi nkura projects bi a wɔakɔ around a wɔrehwɛ sɛ ekuafoɔ ne nyinaa na yɛde wɔn bɛto wɔn sɛ social security ɛso na afei nso no even producer price a yɛtua ma cocoa for ekuafoɔ ne nyinaa no akɔ soro ɛsen mmerɛ a na NDC ɛwɔ abɛn mu ɛnyɛ nokorɛ nti no for me I think say ebia because yɛn nyinaa yɛyɛ amanyɔfoɔ na yɛfi baabi a yɛdua cocoa no sɛ biribi wɔ hɔ in particular na sɛ ebia ɛha ekuafoɔ na maybe nyɛ one of those people a bɛtumi abɛtena so sɛ biribi ha Ghana ni a sɛbi otua ɛtoɔ ma aban anaasɛ n'enwuma no ɛboa ma ɔman no tu mpɔn a yɛnka ho asɛm but sɛ yɛka na yɛaka asɛm no esipi sɛ ebia na yɛwɔ problems bi wɔ baabi but mean say that sɛ aban to cocoa a ontua ɛne nneɛma ahokyerɛ
ebia wo na won
but
tie
even
ya
if that is the case I would mean to say if that's the case we shouldn't resolve it
okay
but if you want to look at it from say bia yɛn sɛ de yɛahwɛ cocoa edwuma no so ukọ cocoa board any nneɛma a wɔde atoto akwan mu na all the things I can say yeah even in the sector ɛyɛ ade a ɛkyerɛ sɛ aban no ani ɛwɔ saa industry no so de bia no see this cocoa nkɔmɔ ya no, it's very important to me because if you baby or
see yeah who news you the same
no honestly
say kwakwafoɔ no so hwɛ
say also
kwakwafoɔ no so hwɛ yɛn I know ma mo
kwakwa nkitahudi a Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire okay Mampeni ne Cote d'Ivoire Mampeni etena se no mo ye hyehyɛ say ye mienu ye na ye produce almost 70% of cocoa yɛde kɔ amansan nyinaa nti na ho behia sɛ yɛbɛka yɛn ho abɔ mu na yɛayɛ biribi to say partnerships in terms of scientific research in terms of marketing in terms of all the other things a ɛbɛma saa industry no etu mpɔn o ti ase na yɛtimi enya obroni fɛ biribi bargaining power sɛ yɛmienu yɛka yɛn ho bɔ mu a sɛ ne yɛn produce bebree obiara no yɛtimi enya ahoɔden no edi agye sika ne bebree omu kra mo bibi yɛfrɛ no ɛfrɛ premium me boa omu tua ɛka ho ma because yɛn cocoa no sɛ ne edua cocoa ne yɛ hata cocoa ne fa no the best across the world enti no if there are issues specific issues we can talk about it but okay say oh ahokyerɛ ba na yɛntua cocoa for ka me no yɛ adua
enti omu tua
and I make sure say if there are isolated cases let's resolve it but it cannot be the case across board.
Okay, me that see. And then ya share me chance in fruit so ya ba mu nti. Na ye be chance if you home sua. Yet the course so ewo ye utag for ene abantem. Ehun sam no aye kwanabra sa kopim CCSA utafoɔ sɛ ɔmatwa sensan pending ba ko so ɔmatwa sensan po no ebinom sɛ ɔmo de ɔmo ntwe sensan ebinom sɛ yɛatwa sensan me no bi kasa nra from Legon ɔsɛ ɔma yɛ new timetable de about ɔmo start lectures by Monday sɛ bɛba so sɛ ma so Monday ni yɛ no renti ntumi nka other universities no so no ebinom kyɛ sɛ nyade a ɔmo ebe start lectures not until 7 say to me aka do mo hwe nyina ani de ekɔ ne de eba nyina. What do you think went wrong along the line wobra agitation starts here from UTAC front I no tie to me enya no pomasi bre preko pe ana say bibi no bi anye ne yie ewo baabi ena me bi edu sense wo hwe sisi academic calendar no class sa ebeka SHS for eba no omo pese ekọ na ebeka omo obviously ebe den ebeka omo omo pese say enti no ebe sese ne ma hodo bebre wo ji say den ya anye ne yie den na eto sini enti ama na duru sa na fe no echi no ya twetwam kakra na fe ya hwe mama bi se ma be edu e wo sa se no
unim say UTAG nsem semi utie omo ewo UTAG ni mu a ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo start sɛ ɔmo ne aban sɛ meka aban a na kyerɛ sɛ aban a atwa mu nyinaa ne aban a ɔte so sesei no ɛbɛdi nkitaho afa deɛ ɔmo frɛ no conditions of service na ɔmo sɛ ɔka mmerɛ a yɛyɛ single spine no yɛyɛ single spine no mmerɛ a yɛyɛɛyɛ no immediately no ɛma improvement bi ɛyɛ dɛn ɛbae but over the years, you know, with all the things that have happened, issues to do with Nemani Nirano, Ama Omo purchase, Omo conditions, you know, above form. And I say the benefits no Omunyano above form. And you know, Omoni are buying a see in Kunya. Na Omoni about to a certain agreement say ye improve Omo conditions of service. Ushe education no ade a ema oman bia etumpo nti se bibi sa esi wo mu a na ha kakra but the credit so say nim say oman yesi ye de emra na ye adwuma your constitution and your legal rules and regulations are yedi etu anase ebu oman Ena, memrana nkasa so hye say who was striker. Untimi and negotiate. So because the bia na make say rule of law na yepese yedi adwuma na say your constitution as a democracy na yepese yedi adwuma na. I say we don't have to pick and choose. And you say bia open way no afa, open way no afa. But say yepese ye na your democracy no e konkan ya. We have to follow the letter of the law. And not just say, so almost strike, you know, now intimi and tenas in synconia and can assemble. And you know, maybe I will for and I say, where you'll be at war education, the sector, and also a stakeholder. Now, a chop on a near dema, you talk and they say, Omunko classroom, no. Now, Omonia buying anything, and synconia, you resolve it. Issues no because in some omo can and then niema omo pray no sabi and then net and assembly esi na in pempi no de bia make say e bi nso a it's important say you be a bit proactive when it comes to some of these things because omo ka say omo be call strike and so many you know a check kaka so they said they make not just na say bedu be no na ye nya a situation a bedroom to say bia intimi enka assembly ntino omo enko classroom no eno esa na ya say na wo ka no affect academic calendar affect awofo affect your money enuanu a omo wo school pon ni mu no but the reality no so say aban so no esa aban so di mrane so the American what I say nti aban so ntimi enka say ye de mrane to nchen na ye ni UTAG for akwakoye negotiation na emrano so esikete say ese almost suspended strike na answer na I me dey say omo ankasa omo from neck me wa I make a decision we say omo be suspended strike no for na watch mienu na omo ne a creative opportunity na omo ne aban ai den I started edi nkita ho ne omo no say individual local UTAG group is no so almost to aba and when I meet here say be mo to aba be say omo neck for no ya adwen be mo say omo neck no enya adwen but the mechanic say apart one anything yeah the memo say omo because you see when it comes to sir nkomo we are now na meet here mo sister station Peace FM now lecture back also no ka say ono kra ni ma wo school ni bi what you say ntino sensitive kaka if you know untimi as a ban untimi nka the track keke say ebia ade no mo ye no inina so ni ho what you say but say in all of these things you know say inim say eyeden ya emre bi beba we arrive at a consensus
you talk for some na
ade mo pray no ye betimi dia ma
ye omo kotena se ne mo de mo nko ye be hwe ne aka wasem na omukọ ochina no masanti etua monko ye beka wasam na omukọ atu so saa ma na du ba bi a ɛso so tampo nkyɛn na ɔgye wɔ ɛnyɛ aban we nko a ɛyɛ successive government nyinaa ɛbɛpem sabere wonyi ni sɛ bra so sɛ si etumi ka sɛ this is what we want this what the ɛsɛ sɛ yɛ nie kɔ hwɛ saa strike ɔmo kɔ yi affecting education psychologically nkwadaa na wɔ school wɔ koraa no sɛ lecture na ɛba bɛkyɛ na adeɛ koraa no ahokeka a ɛsɛ ɔde kɔkɔ wura adesua no mu koraa no ɛni hɔ ɛsɛ sɛ ade na ɛsɛ ɔpaale ne nyinaa adwene nso sɛ butafrakyɛ ɛyɛ kyɛnse koraa ne nneɛma gum na ɛyɛ ma ɔka ubua so a ɛnyɛ na ebitumi ebu ama na yɛ yi etu nyi ne sɛ do baabi a tintiri ti honhom ɛna mo nkɔ na mo nyɛ sɛ ɛna wɔn nso sɛ okay mo pɛ sɛ mo ɔka rule of law ani adeɛ baako a medwene ho yɛ pɛ sɛ rule of law deɛ if the government who is the employer no hwɛ kwan sɛ employee no a mo yɛ teachers no de mmara bɛyɛ adwuma what then ɛna mmara na ɛwɔ employer na yɛ aban so afa mu no wɔn nso fa ne mmara no nyɛ adwuma sɛ na bɛyɛ wei kɔ na wei kɔ a yɛba ne abɛbɛhyia ɔfaako
ɛna meka sɛ ɛden a sɛ wonya afa no mmienu na sɛ ɔmadwen ɛnkɔ bɛnkuro mu ɛwɔ biribi ho a ɛbɛduru mmiri bi no we have to arrive at say a point say yɛnya bɛyɛ adwen sɛ saa kwan wei so na yɛfa na ɛde ɛne asomdwe aba the reality ne sɛ woka rule of law ho asɛm no sɛ biribi wɔ hɔ na sɛ sɛ aban ne yutafoɔ koraa di ho kita ho a ɛntumi ɛma so ammerɛ a ɔmo strike sɛ bi a wɔka sɛ ebi a ankani sɛ yɛtwɛn ara ma ɛkɔdu saa mpɛmpɛn so no ebi a mɛtumi ne wɔ ayɛ adwene but in all of this process sometimes negotiations no ɛyɛ very complex so what I say ɛmfa ne sɛ aban akɔ hyɛ anohoba sɛ ebi a okay yɛne mo ɛyɛ adwene deɛ mu ka nyinaa yɛagye atom sɛ yɛyɛ ne saa ne kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ sɛ mmere a aban bɛgye saa de no atom no na kyerɛ sɛ ne aho akadeɛ ɛyɛ sɛ ɛwɔ hɔ meboa enti no ɛyɛ complex and I'm sure sɛ UTAG nankasa so ɔmo te aseɛ sɛ mmere a yɛwɔ mu yi ɛho bɛhia sɛ ɔmo ne aban ɛbɛyɛ adwene baako na yɛapɛ kwan bi so a yɛbɛ solve issues no so wofi hɔ a enema bi a ɔmo raise no me ne ɔmo yɛ adwene in terms of re-looking at even the whole public sector wage so mo say maybe first na mo refi ne din kakra but say ɔmo fi hɔ na mo ba single spine over the period no aduru maybe maybe we have to go back and find a way of re-looking at that concept again what do you say so that because maybe no what they be in terms of public policy if you num in sia so edu echi no who be here say obepe kwan bi so a obefa na we say ade no what they buy no it's serving the purpose what they buy now because you know very easy I always say governance is very complex and you know whilst you are doing this for UTAG, you also have to be thinking about all the other interests. And what you said, because there's also the interest of the students in terms of finding accommodation for them, making sure that there's enough resources there for education or teaching and learning to happen. They make what you say. But I wish you say, "Sir, now she me near die enemy. You bet me." Afa sa akwenya na de apɛ solution to the issue.
Me kan ya honorable me enche me ba so na me san e bi san question bi start dwene ho na me ba educational system our my Ghana say as we speak ukọ HHS say am say yi wo mo a ma kwan ba fi wo mo awie no e wo e say form 2 for no minimum so wo hu ni de bi a betumi ne ya cha Wamo at na school ma kopem bere ben. Wamo bebe fie ansama sanko na akwa kwan a wo ma wie school na because akwada bi frame nra. O se da me say yes. O da me say ya confused. Wo na me say adan. No say ye hu dia ye say ye nim so say September na ye bebe fie. E na ade no kra say wo say akwada na ye confused. Me bisa na some kra me ma you say ne me ko ho. Ma ko bisa mu ye bisa di ntia. Your system nankasa from basic to tertiary level no for basic from primary to GHS esisha ayaye se bia nkwada no enye exams bia ye bepia mu nyina de o makoyu akodu ba bi ana fe bia won beye some trial exams bi And is it not too confusing when it comes to say akwadake to ebe fi na fi center we and then akọ center foforo akọ twa exams wo ho
say o share budget crapa ye afibia I think say education a discapa mebwa in terms of government investment in the sector. So issues to do with even the second cycle institutions. First, near secondary school, near 3 terms. The CR no, semesters. Semesters, and the nature say 2 semesters in a year. Into no, Emiria, almost due school no, a check aka. But makwanya, timina, akwanya, so it's a check aka. Nini na no. We can look at best practice. You know, best practice, they say, okay, mia baby, and that's a man saying baby, education, and said, education system, no, etifana, send them away, fano, to me, issue. Of course, there can be issues or challenges in the education. They be an make us say, Emra, your day free SHS by and go for there's congestions in the school, and in some close to school hall, and I'm just taking an example. Let me say, yes, it was boarding. It's about boarding school. It existed.
Congestion, no.
Everything, you understand?
Congestion, war,
broken beds. No,
I'm
just using as an example. But what share a nema a buying way in terms of the infrastructure. The last time I'm sharing over 1,000 different infrastructure projects in secondary schools. Any dining halls you see, any assembly halls you see, any support you diama Nancy Anna charge for about in crime bebeji omo pickups near buses you diama schools near and all of those things. Science centers near the idea you see new TVET centers you see for technical and vocational education. It shows a government you need equal education. Of course, they be orientation back up. If baby or baby, and I say there's a challenge somewhere within the sector, we still have to solve it. Tell them what I say. Because anything Ghana for MI, Akwenya, and say Yamamedi or mine. So I won't have a problem with that. But by and large, you see, a lot of the things now you can't want to at the end of the day, it's about results and productivity. Well, in the last 3-4 years, Treyemana Omuko Omukocho Wasi, any Modibo boy, and Omocho BEC, Omodibo boy. It points to an education because you see, you have to be dynamic. The Americans say at the end of the day, results and who here. I'm not saying means ABR if there are some issues somewhere, and I say a collaborative or baby, or say why are you confused? We shouldn't give them the information. But you're looking at all of this, and apart from that, and so okay, I say COVID no we have to shut the schools to protect our children. And you know there can be slightly disruptions in the calendar. But I know, say, if you speak to the Honorable Minister Educhu Obekacho, say, when even the kids went back to school, almost per teachers more face-to-face contact hours. Now putting resources to make sure, say,
and the resources in our as we speak, almost said,
it is not. You see, it is not the case.
It's not the case, really.
Listen, time on baby. Your friend is saying schools, no. I think it's a car now. Some of the heads made the point say, "If you are in Embidry, indeed, na me no crapona. Oman so bad bunting back car say, if you are in your resources,
why should we wait till baby school and say,
no, and I mean, but it was there. I remember saying, now, 3-4 weeks ago, maybe the headmaster for, I think, TIA Media, chairman as a president of the CHAS. It was a very nice gentleman. I mean, they born in Komofa education system and all of those things. You see, and they have a lot of things that they are grateful for. But of course, as major stakeholders, if we be a honor, some person train, aban adwen ekosi so a they will do so because yeah you won you ma wo school mu you won nuanu wo school mu ebusia for school no nti no say bibi ekoso na say obi kan ho asema ye endi ho enjuma but by and large aban way commitment to the education sector is by none uni ade bia ebia yen kasa ya
o say kasa 16 minutes
no ya host o ga mi na
now the one it's training na for remember what you
sector mi jaya mi ti mi
we na wo jaya no wo do one see am na fe
me can be SCB so who say emra enu mo NDC for by ya omo two omo e bi kra omo de ko share green book bi mo so my schools and 200 e-blocks then a reach na omo ye handing over na ye koye audit na just schools na no my na 29 what you say aban we buy no ya akwadro so schools ni na no ye wie
mo wie e-blocks ni na
me can there omo share ase ni na omo ye du pempen so bia na omo wie ya omo de share book mo so mo wie ni na but you know what you know what the problem is. Problem in say yeah say nema way and I say even infrastructure the American infrastructure over 1,000 different infrastructure projects in second cycle institutions.
They can cool.
See.
1,000, 2,000, 50,000
for GS.
1,000
for GS. Not for PRO for Ministry of Communication that business that someone making
okay we dey no so na twa me na me call na bo so na me sa no na bo what you need some can be the educational sector from entotofewa akopim university level you talk for eti omuti ye as we speak kra no akasa no mutu akasa kame say you tag no kra mu kra ya che omo ne neck ne adwene ebi no so no neck ne nya adwene enti teachers na akasa nya adwene mu fine na edekwa cha de na akasa no adwene mu no a bit confused esan say abufushu kakra bi wo ebi no so ani age two en kwada no so ese e chomade no so no ese so kwada no wo ho enuane mboko enuane nyina asa ehun sama be dija enti ugiri say our education system no say dey see koi no kwa ne say
yo minia medical anchia me constituency for me fi central for ni wo mo hwe no page na me giri say minia yi be ma me kwai ma kan nsam ni bebre na me ka say me yi ne de na no kra na minya kwan enka me eti okase governance a complex just amamuo no ayade a emu eye edinye kakra I'm very happy say I'm happy say what's a complex the word you use I say easy kra I'm happy say we realize that facts no can say rule of law and the first starting with Agya say rule of law. The rule of law, I'm surprised even can rule of law. Now, I buy the rule of law so I can't even be yedri. And by year to about a soldier for police station, no tree at you, no, and a rule of law.
Oh, that's it, baby.
May catch was a rule of law, and when I sit there, it be a rule of law, no be any brass to say. And no, Crawford, on corruption, PDS. And then see rule of law no a my woman rule of law no boss scandal ni nyina wo ha aban e de hye baabi eye embrante atumi court na on disrupt to court
honorable obesa command in there because baby I want
man disrupt to me who can say 31 minutes with your yes it me rule of law now can and I just say no bibi anko kan papa nye credit because and mine no efe de ekọ no ekọ ba bia I say rule of law no enya adwuma ye kan ho asema na monye ntum ene de you talk for a striker you are quoting rule of law na mo friend e call court or court disrupt to court produce citizens no na rule of law enya adwuma enya adwuma ti niam asai na coming to you talk for you where we are professors or lecturers enye ade bia ye ton no abonten a obetumi akofa entos no, it's not like that. I'm not saying say utag for no professors no all in all. But certain professions be it will take very long time. Say, oh, dismiss you. Where are you going to get the immediate replacement? Unya. and it's na ye da aban bibi say si a obetobo aban say de osi ye niam gidigidi no ade si a no de asojafo we kwa no de police for or they call a utafo nso it is strike no mo call
the utafo no sojafo bi akọ
am call na me say sa to tra 7 sa twema mentwe no e bi na utafo call strike aban per se or come down no they negotiate and ama ade aba say no unim emre mi call adon ache about 5 months ago na utafo trati e be call strike we say me call here am so we be call abon call ma me abre every day you cost strike every day you cost strike most of them cost strike they want this long time see you cost strike oh you cost strike oh you cost strike why is that buying say a preamble mama say omun je crofo bit me akofo abontin now they want to see class unti assemble take time say e be a primary school ni secondary school di mpa graduate bebre ho a omo enya adwuma anye ntom cost strike aban bit me atwe eduru bia wa yiwadi never replace it. Professors are not like that. Enti aban atwe ade mu ha mafedi aduru bia nkrofo e cost strike. I started there 4 or 5 months ago. Me kasa me kan ho asem. Woma amua won. Luckily enough, me a member of the education committee, select committee in parliament. Nkrofo e cost strike nyina na ye share on last week. Na me ye share on no ma agree say they will go back to work on condition. Yeah, we are not press. No, I published. The lecturers have agreed to go to work. They didn't say that.
So maybe we strike, you know.
Yes, also maybe we strike. You know, I was there. I asked certain questions. The Minister of Labour was there. Minister of Education was there. The young members know. They put their case across. Young lady, they said they had a case. Also, a salary, a single span. Yes, but when conditions in the country change here. Everybody on Hoshino. Sadi me cost money mu. Lecturers they are also part of the country. They can say memu idea, mo say munya edin e frititi. They can say idea so idea e free baby. Only am fan baby for no mutuam teachers aka. You claim say mo kono, obakọ no mutuam teachers ka. Aha. Yankon, obi kunu tokwa, obi ebi. O say aninti no a teacher for they should not ask for what they are asking for. Enti never cost petrol prices, share the dollar, be asesa. The teachers cannot continue to be on that same salary. As an MP, my salary and two, my bar parliament, when I'm taught fuel 250, in the Philly, the car and Chenchemano, and then me top 450 with the same salary. So, and that's what the lecturers put across. You can send me them, I said they are right, they have a case. Now, government here, or don't call a National Labour Commission. My Labour Commission catch on say, almost strike illegal. No say yo illegal yati. What say illegal? And I told them that was wrong. I feel woman a Labour Commission you almost uncle or the call court. Court to bua say court a bua okay lecturers and must have near the strike number court illegal. I say yo yati. I made a point there say okay what did I call court? I say what open crack or train to say uncle classroom court now. Or call what you say ya. But that was not the way. After 6 weeks. And while I've been free my class in my constituency, Abba Legon. Almost you did every day. Now, government, if you're a government, why should you say so? Mulan say, Obi was striker, you're negotiating. Now, while I answer to 6 weeks, they say 7th week. Do you think about the plight of the students? Yeah, PC students, Mr. so near the woman's camera or the Etobian. What is all this? Lecturers until they agreed when we spoke to them. So they will go back and consult on your neck into more individual ones who check one day, Lego one day, UDS one day. Until they will go and tell them, say, neck, where the yati. Until they will vote on it. And if I say they're going to vote you, no. To go back to class, we say no. Tech, I vote you, no. I saw that of, I think, UDS. Almost said no. And going back will depend on the voter. All the universities know about vote and be judged with a because I can say how many are buying and negotiate here. I told have been near showing some moment. I call a table where powers that be so you need say any point meeting. they made it clear. The minister was there. As I'm afraid saying, yes, and then the committee, no, on the corner, Obi and ho, Obi sounds so, you didn't send the meeting. And these are lecturers. So one man did say, and at 10 o'clock, you have a meeting, over drew her, or say, a meeting, news a meeting be a basso. And this has been going on. So I'm going to say, Adiano, and Yadia, I buy a serious. I buy me Quadano, or me money.
Also, buy me Quadano, a sanity. And yes, Abia, some about some befia, a dianuan eka, Abia, Muncotina, Muncochad, and Ian Shanianka. Cochad and Ian Shanianka, as I won't call Cochad and one. Why don't you turn around and blame me, say, Mimuna Mayama, you to me, and yes, a
bit mama on record say, when we met, let's not accuse you, government, say, yeah, a told be free meeting, a bebano, Muslim is a meeting crowd. So do you take the serious?
Why the phrase I'm meeting now?
Minister free meeting.
Okay.
Yes. I don't want to mention names, but I was at the meeting. The Americans have a boy be free. And see, lecturers are bad meeting. Also, oh, we don't know. You say, okay, Munko. And this is going on. Munko say, Obedru Hono, not terms. Also, Mkushiakra, terms on Bagri. What said they are making progress. The next time, now Adiana Asan Korechi. And America said, these are not ordinary workers. And to know more delia, you must handle them with care. Yes, it cannot be at Bemano, but what you tell them, the behavior, when we met them, where it's a bar, and the man agree, say, they will go back. Even though they have not finished the negotiation, they will go back. On conditions, then they'll go back. Not about. And that's what they are doing now. And to me, I believe, say, it will be based on the total, because over 700 and something, all the universities, vote, say, then they will go back. So what is the government doing? Government go to them, they okay say, Obi was striker, negotiation. I'm saying, no. Why don't you break if that is a law and trend?
I mean, as a member of parliament, you are actually asking the government to break the rules.
No. I'm telling you, government, anytime you quote you rule of law, government breaking laws, he be brave. Anytime you more examples. So I can say, government, Jim Raswa. What is talking to them? Naka didn't education committee meeting. See a meeting, it was also negotiation. So they should go back. And they agreed, even though they have not got the money. So sometimes because of the intransigence on the part of the government, and now impasse, I say, whatever be the case, so it is government that we will blame. You blame Obia. You can't blame the students, you can't blame the teachers, because they also won't call. And who teacher, old government, the Asian say, Obey teacher for my coach and Kuala Nadia. Over your idea is up to you. So Bobo Muskana, up to you. Also, Sikaniho. But can we take that at the face value, says Sikaniho? They are cost money. They also want their pound of flesh. They can't see the cover. Now, President, we hide this plane. What are you communicators saying about that? A scam, money is coming. Yet we my lecturer, the almost 6 weeks. Now, President, to me, a high plane, private jet, ordinary. I mean, I can't understand. Saying, I can't say when you're pack the plane for some time. Where the strike, you will President got 10 days. Can you imagine the cost to the nation? You know, when you say, you levy, Agya from their own mouth, for your own party, apparatchik. I see they rented a private jet to pick some of them. Some of them refused, but Agya he mentioned, he said, oh, Casaman, what go to? One year, the Wakojina court, ma, the Jakra, and Makotu, in Tukran Casa, into a Sabia can be our court. I see a rented private jet, a fire free America didn't buy us under the coin. My $120,000 a Dugun accounts. All these
$120 and it was no currency.
$120,000. It could be pounds, it could be euro, it could be dollars, it could be cities. But I don't think a very cities.
It's all share education system. So this is here.
It's the American. I'm saying my Andy Ho. Say I buy na yema you strike in air call. Say a bit ni hwa. My own who in your lifestyle. Say also I cut it down. Now the mabu boss you know yes hand you be now be jina na we catch say lecture scan hwa. Also company because nyama bia e kosoro. Educational system. Me nyama na meka. E bal say can pese e frɛ timemufo no no mo aka education system de ekoyi. Enye bibi asay said you can kwala omunim time to be school omunim time e baba
obi the message be brem wa ha o say omo wo timetable for I think away aha Don Richardson will say there is an academic calendar we are following. The current Form 3s will vacate on the 1st of April and resume on the 19th April. They will remain in school till
they write their exams.
They finish WASI. They will remain in school till when? October, September, December,
no,
January.
when they write their exams.
When are they writing their exams?
No, we would have to find. You see.
Okay. Or they can when.
Oh, that's a way.
That be 15 minutes. 30 minutes.
No, because that's it. It's meant to be Sunday.
Yes, I can 15 minutes time. Yes. It's education system. You be the education system a collapse. Emra na nyema koso ye ka no. Na omo ka say warmongers or a lot of names, but and the one for abofra school no mo kwa e bi ho a 2 weeks say mo nkofie because of this no mo kofie e say bachelor exams from 3 for bachelor mo makal mo nkofie obi say wenu mra we don't even know ye nyina ye wo mo friend bi we fie o enti wani ade obi serial caller bi be send the text message ni ade wo obi wo fie me nua wo bi mesum wo bi ye nyina ni what is going on. And kwale kofi obi say na dada be na mo ko school ayenimo ma kwala wo fie say yenim da ye ko school how say wo calendar na students no obi ani omani yenim parents yenim time ye de kwala ndi ko school time ye ko school say na ye wo ko first term no na the calendar ni na for first term, second term, third term ye didn't have a boss. I wonder how those days they were able to plan like that. Midterm you never so for the whole year. When you say I call 16 weeks, I call midterm, in between, I call midterm, I call a few 2 weeks. What's now, if I ask you as a government communicator, big, of course, one of the biggest communicators in the party, we be say, Mami calendar, oh, be for the year. Oh, but my,
maybe some question.
Hypothetical. Oh, yes. And you must say education.
I kwatasa obi ma right type bi. Now they wanted to get that right type naka marking kind extensively pa na mean senya kind or try a very lengthy bi na misaka ka be me de papa naka yet to me I but mean senya kind no I think one professor Rus Emma Enchua Mensa and a trace a right up on a wapa say even this STEM is it STEM?
Yeah.
Yes, STEM projects are made by Crano. Or can once be say US Crano, there were so many how be an why. And see, honorable Manu Sina Fian Consum for Frost and a mamma.
Education is a Cassia can I say right from primary school to JHS to secondary school. We be and why as you talk a curriculum. Maybe say for 3 years I want to produce your curriculum and from junior schools. Secondary schools here more much total the free SHS. And I kinds of free SHS. You qualify your class bow. You are pushing a back. I crowd over high dine at a Diani and a pa at a number.
I said how many Kuala
I can remember statistics because I'm a member of the education committee. Maybe said this on the floor of parliament. Uba no become Kuala say and then free SHS. But you don't talk about the day students. Say in the ANSF statistically, no, their students no increasing, and borders no baffled. I have the records. Almost all the schools are not first grade day anyhow. Say day no because we go around education quite a schools no. Santa okwa headmistress no mtumi nka meeting no mtumi nka. Ya pon no aba honorable. Let you say you. We say na dey na unka. I say me we he na we koka. They know that things are going bad. And you can free chess. You are coach you and call 1.something and they go school. No? But how many of them are day students? How many of them are year school fees? Because those days, you know, you have government scholarship. You have marketing board scholarship. Into those days, Krani Kwala was school. Government was doing that. Into now, say, if all these things have been cancelled, but Cocoa Marketing Board scholarship, they are cancelled. See, I cancelled government scholarship. Now, Nipa woman increase as a result of the free SHS. You can tell those that was based on your performance. In German, you pursue your government scholarship. You work hard. These days, no. What is the criteria? And collect the school. You need to be and it's a fact. Bibi ankoso. Education is a case of a car with the records because I have them. Enyas and papa. Enti mon hwe na mo correcting yema wo fam fuel prices and confirm. Said the na mo opposition na mo kan bibi no. Enu bi e beba so. Ba o miane sama na o kan. And the price of goods and services ni nyina ekosoro. Salaries remain stagnant. And so, life in Penifon A level, no, a quite a cost. Example, Mama, and then you might taxes. I wonder, so tax on the baby be at Yamayan. But residents would you tell to cry between him, we are a party in Penifon. Why do you see airport hall? Sikan wood in a crown. Is it not more than this a year of Yamoyan? Over 2 kind if you gan ha, Minia. Okay, COVID tests. Udru airport, your vaccination. Udru America, obviously test way, no you testing the actual within 48 hours or so. Okay, pass. Because you have done it. If the hustle bar, you go and do the tests before you are embark on the plane. Over Drew Ghana ha, they say Cheska. For this $150.
Yes, I am for promo.
And yes, I am for promo. Why you Afro plane no? Why is it free hako Udru America? Na America for waji. And so free hobe Drew ha. Within that 48, I saw say in your Jiska. Scale no, were we able to account for? Probably beside they were not able to account. 17 million no margin. Ghana had only 1 million. You beside a health minister. Why in a Jiska says can also nim? Finance minister says can echo also nim. National security also nim. 80 unim size kay ayajeje continuously up till now your general airport hall. These are some of the things that ebu mine no my lecturers almost just hand me ya almost now we go pay to the Jessica $17 million na you hu be escalafa ye bisa sa question of parliament say why na Jessica no scan record the accounts mu ye tumi nkire no aka kire lecturer say oh man mu na say we are seeing na say into akatua no tena ho na o de agire sa na o de akire ade no because the reward were in heaven. No, they won't listen. Until we can strike now. That is the genesis. The correct one. You know, hope say Monday, no, we now to vote in we are in totality. No, we now be to say they want to go back to the classroom because we are feeling the pinch. You know, say, school dining at the idea say, over go online, my online, coffee, but Napo when they took over. The amount of the quantity of schools are also during the handing over notes. I know you said 29. Go Google. He said 49 had been completed as at that time. A chance no more on handing over notes was signed. That was what was said. And then we say school done a bin ho. The bin one kalana mudom go school there no. And you know nti aya mo ma ye hwe enema yi e minor say na titi apansa
honorable mafo bi the message bi aba ha ma me hwe na me nkan E&E alliance or say UK did not pay workers including teachers for about 6 months. Stop the lies. Transferred to or say in fact the 2-semester thing had been reversed and he's still talking about changes anyway. Ransford to say he should tell us exactly when they are vacating because people are confused. If government sack all lectures today, they will find a replacement within 24 hours. Hey, really? Okay. Sami Kwei or say all what we are discussing is pointing to the necessity of the e-levy. E-levy is now a necessity, a necessary catalyst regards to Honorable Hawa Kumsen. It is a e-levy bar when you know who yo yati. Nana Ekwamwabuati in Ablukuma Central. So the MDC man is being disingenuous and politically incompetent, inaccurate with his submissions on the economic Hey, nah. You can't call me some sour. I'm saying, say, then this uncle was Agong, Juliana, good morning, wherever you are. Actually, you are watching live from Dubai. Yeah, that's a pie. Also, yet, who message you from Dubai. Nana, okay, Nana, come about watching the Gumo Finis. I don't Richardson or say once it begins in August. Okay, I know the buy say they will go to school on the 19th of April until once it begins in August. Until when are they vacating? There's some go school for about 5 months, and sana Oma Amakwine. Easy. Game boy, also my problem with this MPP administration is they never accept anything unless it's coming from their camp. But building a country is all about inclusiveness. Edward Into was a good morning. Agya, please send this man. What then this man says is not true. And Sana Pasoka. Okay, yati. And Ransford was say even JHS students and teachers don't know when the children are writing BEC. Yampa. When you know some who do be ewa ye ka ho sempa enti ye ka nyina no na so do wadwenche no susu ye ba na ye twehwe ne ye tumi adi ho enkomo enti ye hwe
I concluded.
Oh, that's our conclusion.
Yeah, time almost 1 hour. Education is very, very important. Intina, I say, Mrs. say, yes, say, Emra or Hukrana, Yemran, yes, no, ye the Emre Bibri, Mukrana. I don't think a problems are. Inti, ye beshe, and not yasha, ye can you know, Che, chum, Mamma, bear 3-4 minutes. Say, effects are. Nkwadai sa strike enya omoso no it is saying any we parents are yen yakwo tue sika me I mean advocate for something say yen tua bebam next semester because me no me ko tua me ba sika na mo se me betua me betua enti mo ese mo kira kwada na de e na mo moko enti me ba na ese me ba na sofa enti se mo antua ma kira me ba na de a ene bebi a mo kire fi e betete afim de be ka mo fa ya de ma yen yen fa de aka no so so and our parents be boa.
When you say, you see, sometimes, you know,
yes,
abacusm is very important. But because of the fact that I'm 3 minutes into we've come a very long way. I mean, I said time I was school now at the time, and I think 97, 98. Now, current minority leader, I don't know yet, Nuke's president. And Yema is CEO, sir, and you will not be able to even believe it. But we moved on from that point. It's unfortunate, say, Yemano, Yenuanuno, Ketuano, Atnefie for 6 weeks. The reality is that even lectures on only Omukasa, Omucho say, Omuwo system, Sen Kolano, Enya Stati, Esuadena, Omubitimide, Aye. No,
is it possible, say,
oh, no, so, 6
weeks?
Say, I'm not in a few 6 weeks. Oh, say, yeah, well, say, let's say, I'm assuming a problem, because who to be in country, I say, 6 weeks, I'm quite anything in Ano. You find so obey the 4 months of school. 4 months on a sort of there for the whole 4 months. No way, 6 weeks, a few more. Was it weeks now? Can obey you
depending, you see, it's a problem, and Abba. It's depending on Maria Omobeko. Back to classroom. Because you have to go through a curriculum. And that curriculum and as a set of subjects and someone go through and models. You have to go through it. So I'm sure that they will find a way. And we are sure also say as yeko yenimna yebu mine yeko yenimuno. Maybe we will not have to have these challenges again. You see, the issue to do with how it would affect them is very obvious. They've been craved fee. I'm an onikra poaba. When you say you international students and all of this, so it's a serious issue. But I mean, say abayan sono any kuhua omo ye bibia found to make sure say the issues don't happen. You see, when we are having this conversation around education, now we know free SHS and whatsoever. Without education, we would not be sitting here and having this conversation. But the point is very simple. You see, your ebusua bia na say uko school na first na friend middle school
living
certificate.
I stand 7.
Star 7. So uria na yesi o kope dwuma bi sua. Ana say kope dwuma bi ana bibi sai bi say ebusua no enni sika o de be show ana watwa school no so. Ena o mampani bi e bai. Ana si o. Say South Africa say say in other parts of the country uko na etifi maintain mu a because of first president Nkrumah, there was a certain semblance of that there. Yema Ghana ni biaba akwenya says
That's free education any constitution.
Yes, so it was the constitution, and he had to take the conviction of one president, Akufo-Addo, to make sure say it's actualized for every single Ghanaian child. You know, inti the biano me there before say not me kasano ebi amudre manuko see body. Minka say there are no issues, but Minka say yen time a yen kokra ni etuan kra no. Some of the issues that are happening today are there, which means that I say the stakeholders within the education sector will resolve those issues. It is not the reason. It's not as a result of the fact that a free SHS in asa issues no. Obia oti kromu ha wako boarding school or Ghana ha bi enim say your school na boarding school yem pay duane no. Sometimes you have issues with your water, you have issues. Those are issues that can be dealt with. But to give an opportunity to Obia Anka Nebusia Ebini Ho, now Obenya opportunity or secondary school, as far as I'm concerned, the benefits are Yebenya of free SHA, no, some investment, you know. In the next 5 to 10 years, Manu, Ebiadani doctors, Ebiadani journalists, so Ebiadani MPs, Ebiadani marketing people, Ebiadani lawyers, doctors, near the adeno. That is when you start feeling the full effect of the free SHS. And sometimes, see, a account development once a month, and I say, in Punto once a month. If you are near 300, see a dime, a 4-square building, a different brick and mortar. But the human capital, Nipana, a war or minimum, they are more important than any Adaya obesi. You know, so let's deal with the challenges within the education sector. But for anybody to sit and say that, oh, the free SHS is a bad point, I will never agree. You see, one of the things to run up. You see, your school. No?
3 minutes each.
I made this statement some time ago. Your school, no be here now if you cross any other. No be wa best school. None of my made Gary a good pillowcase. So your school fees, you know, all right. Say be socks crying in Pabwakra until me for be ma. Obi wa about Form 1, Form 5. Me sure they by no kitan. And so some of the benefits of free SHS, it's not just the school fees. So that parents can even, so when to your school fees in there, wait to when a city kaka, wait to when a Gary kaka, wait to when a baby kaka, diamaneba, a buaha books, a buaha atadie, a buaha, I will fall and Casa say, Sasikana, and say, or debate your school fees, you know, or wait to be the ABB, Ashri fee, IABB, a man, one hand, kakra. So if you do all of this analysis, a chair say, the issue of free SHS is very important. Apart from that, no, the can development who has him. Right? Say, uko and kind and answer uko wenima. Your literacy rate is very important. And not just say nipa na omo woman ni muna, omako school na, omo ni midiano. I say a certain level to engender the development that you want. Look at all the development that we have done within the education sector. Of course, there can be challenges. But that anything that you have to Obama, what I say, to deal with those issues. But if you want to do a comparison between the MPP and NDC, when at the time even issues to do with chalk, keke. You did throw blackboard the scrap. It was a problem. Now, Abayaba, now see, or yes, STEM, now see, or free SHS, now see, school, pomu, yeah, school, no. So, Oga student loan. I used to be a guarantee amount. Right? See, I know, okay, Ghana card, now you're a student, now was your poma. One can submit me a student loan. Now, all of those things are improvements. That is the small student loan.
That is what impression money so fair.
No, but that is what I remember when
in reality.
I remember that when we were in school, student loan, I think today's equivalent was like 400 Ghana cedis a semester or something like that, right? To see a cost. That time, unya obia obeye your friend is saying obe guarantee amount and obi wo ha crap na akwenya no wo ha unya obia ma na nye man. All of these things are improvements within the education sector. Look at the infrastructure in those various universities. UPSC, Nafa Legon Campus, Nafa University of Science and Technology, and all the other universities. You see, the problem that I think that as a party we have in the say young first Sikano, Uncle Sibe before for so Yakosi University your friend is saying it, you know, it creates the impression that we have not invested in the sector. That's 1,000 and over facilities now you see your secondary schools, you know. Aki if you want to see baby you throw in a bon one. That would tell the NDC that we are doing a good job.
Okay, me that say
because you have to expand the infrastructure in the existing schools.
Me that say honorable mouse
okay.
No worry, over time ni na kwa meti me dia
ma. And ka say tia so ntumi ntopon ko.
Exactly.
Edina wasama wo ka no so.
No be kan o kasa bebre ade wo say ade no. How cruising mami na no o say yi levy.
And then how cruising also.
How cruising send the message.
That be obi chia no obi the message by no ochia no.
Ochia obi okay, all right. I'm sorry nipa kro no yi levy no
only levy ne be boa ma so how nyina to enti se no.
Na COVID tax na etua ye no. E wo hi. Se egusu etua COVID tax. Bola tax na etua no. And can you account for? Ma mention airport tax obi free ho ba bia $150 every passenger.
Therefore the Ghanaian and the ECOWAS national.
Ghanaian is $50.
$50,
yes. That's what I'm saying. I paid $50 when I was coming. Now, foreigner tuya 150. Every plane full. Do you know the number of people? Mama example, see, I just had Sikano. You say I account for, even in parliament. A year COVID, Sputnik, V, health minister, a Kofabai. You can't watch them say, Omra my account.
Now when the confers,
yes.
Obi the Sputnik V.
You even make action say tax now because you never solve your problem.
Solve your pocket.
Because there's no accountability.
No so obra ye de Ukraine semi eba be wura mu no esan say ye ko ba nyina no yenim say Ukraine nsemi de how ebre wi ase nyina enti honorable mamhye say fruit sam ma be sima be ye mamhye ye wo be you be 50 minutes.
Okay.
Nti ye be ko eno na fe wi a ye be ko parliament nso na de ye ko so parliament nso ye tumi ahwe na ye di ho komo kakra. Nti ye hwe de akosi e wo Ukraine mamu. Eno e betumi anyina so ese etumi enya homegrown policies a ebebo ama yakasa ye tumi akekere ye man. Meka de ababesu se no yenim sade ba ko a ewo ho yeyina ka wasem yi levi a aban ede ho nsama basa no betumi aboa pa ama yetumi nye skada akere oman no eti pede akoso ewo Ukraine Russia fo ntam ya yehu da ebekọ na wieye eni sunsuanso ahodo a ede beba no ede na so se esese yeye eden ena esusu se yeye se de be ya esusunsuanso no enko ebebre ewo man no so esan se fa nwbo ebekọ soro ewo adwaman so yeso anya hwe kran so fa nwno yeso yetu kakra bi wa ha eti yehwe na yemisa se ede na esese yeso man sesei na ankoko hadwe na fei ye mana ewo amanone a ewo Ukraine wa sesei yehu bebi o ne ye bo amode se betumi nya bi ne na o makasa yehu se de ankwada yi wo mo asetene mu esi koso mu bo so mu ye den no ede na osu sei ese ye se oman ede fa ho onabo
yo me do say na what can say me brem so can you live homegrown ya de and the men can categorical say yen in the NDC de yen na sia adwin 137 de yen na be 20 never omo pia omo ye 138 omo organize omo hu nyina na omo ye 138 ne yen to aba no nwini magana fo hu say omo na de 138 na ba because en solve your problem na enti me constituency me mo hu say de mo ka kire na meji so say mama support yi levi no
constituency for na kan say men support ana say wo adwene mu no ye bibia enkonko boa
me omo ni me de adwene na afoa so e san say omo awo ni me say mama me support mama ma ho me anso me ni omo ya adwene say enya de papa ebeboa due to enema makekan taxes ni ade abanjiji a yehu na yehu ade ye no enu nti no me nkrofo no abre o ma bre pa eti omo en support sadi saa so na my fellow MPs NDC for the I say yen support asofofo aba council of state for aba na so yentie and the enya fe na ye kunkum nipa no na ye hu obi oba beka bi enne ye ge tax a ye be ma obi edia abonebra eti inua o say homegrown policy ya hwe ya Ukraine dey be affect here. Yes, it is true. Ade e si ba bia it me affect here. Nemum until say Ukraine dey be na ya bia in crisis. E bi na enuanom ye COVID 2018 na COVID ni ho. Wo hwem notebook yi ma oil prices na e kosoro ha. Ni ade na economy no nose dive. 2020 na ayi bae no COVID bae me nuanom jai bibia say COVID time. 2018 no ka free SHS na am ye ho kire yen. COVID by 2020 no na omo jai akọ COVID so say if we price e cost ru $50 ekoyi nyame adum ma adum wo ma Ukraine dia ba efedie Ukraine na ma ye ho kire na anadenti wo bu man na can't you foresee onye provision say many things shocks will come into the economy ye bu man no wo de oti wa say jama wo de na wa dwen wa hihye no ale bekoso no that is not governance e don who say yare betuma ba catastrophe betumi asi emani mu other countries be ba ni nyina account be kire say we a good governor na onye sa de nyina emra na ndisi won de na de ma nsisi aba omia ono okeka asem ayi o say ayi mahama ya insensitive no fuel cost o say o ya mahama onka administration o say mahama ya insensitive that time na de ma nsisi emra o ka say this time they o ka ya quote the right say 13 July 2020 and o can asem no anhwa de mako gina court and what they me quote directly 18 May 2015 o can City FM or say he opines that there should not have been an increment considering the recent hardships Ghanaians are going through. Fuel no or say can you can say Yatum Mohammed government is the most uncaring government he has ever had. I say a man mu yeshi can you can say Mahama ought to fuel.
Na nyina so de kan sa ne sen say e bia fa no bo no aba fam awa adwaman so it is aba fam adwaman so dia ene yese yete so ha anya no no gina so de kan sa
kire go back near share conditions no but conditions at every time fuel cost no there could be one reason or the other anya government bia no which say obey say ought to fuel na conditions wo ho wo de one condition no the officer say the most insensitive.
Zabreno, Vice President, the then running mates, Edema, Mapena, Nado, Akasano. Now, no, or can't Ediafa, ye fool, said a German so a born waffle, and the taxes are a ban Ediaguso Sabreno, and tell my fuel prices.
Taxes, no, yes, it is true. But taxes on buy, no, on my increasing and now reducing.
It's not true. We haven't increased the taxes.
And the taxes, no,
we haven't.
Increasing. According to the records.
It is not.
And you there another fool you know me person about topic and so but I want to
I feel now about topic.
Yes. You know okay, you know, homegrown. Now a person who say no. Or say vote for change if you are hit by high cost of fuel. And Ghana for Baumia like can say or say move vote for change if you are hit. Say fuel a coin. A drew 8 by next year called 9. At 8 no. $8 no ena a dollar no so a kwa na eko dollar 7.2 7.3 and so what look at what they spoke about those days now homegrown no and say ye levy no that's not the solution we always maintain minia na ono oba wo fie na oba no onye school fees wo kan chiro oba no oh me ba wo de bo amenko afuom na minyas kakakra ya kotua school fees no aduane kra ne fie oba so chi ebro nawe those days na chi ebro nawe ebro nchi wie na oba no hu se anadwo no awia ho akwhye dem okoto ayi dem bo McDonald ana ayi ade akukọ ne ayi o hyede na wudi oba no hu a opia o se eh na wo homegrown ni e na wo ka chem se me nkyere kom me yemfanye bibi no daache no na wo de wudidi
na ahwe so a wo ye na eno nyina so ne say
ebi ni ye president ni die eno kra ye example am de ma say president onye sensitive kakra say you fly this expensive jet I said the crazy airport every type of so to Canada because the minister what defense minister Oba Yebisa the parliament or say they are renting that plane because president no plane no adware nim.
Oh, come on.
He said it.
Okay, Jariet specifically say.
Sometimes
Chumi Pacho until the Diamama and
okay, yeah.
And see, or can specifically say, a Jarenum quantity and I'm a penny, a quadris I will share.
There be some question. Say why say presidential jet wo na ukokofa sa a plane akwa high at 15,000 pounds per hour. I said what kind of say when president traveler he needs to refresh up. Refresh. I do freshen up because that presidential jet na ye wono. Nim bathroom nim shower nim.
What is it? Or can I say, Mampeni, Eko baby na sudru baby, bia baby obedro no, as so siko meeting us in tem. In terms of Bisia, Kwabena the hotel, Kwabena, it will take some time. In say, bia, when we want to say, bia, obey free plane basic from Nakba, no court meeting. I know, yes, simple.
President Kokwanya, new time on your meeting. And if that will necessitate, say, don't call her expensive plane. Why is our come be 2 hours earlier? President one didn't. They go 2 hours earlier. You know the speed of the plane. You know when you get there. Now, to me, be 2 hours earlier. Now, uncle hotel and freshen up. Now, uncle. So that is no excuse. Say, we plane man, we drive, we plane.
And so say, no, sir, you create something. Then they say, yeah, man, I could do this. And then I also
say, in your kind of parliament. I'm saying, how do I can't say, young coffee and quality them because I know man, we a year, a club bar, who feel proud. Say, bedroom baby, now, watch you. No chrome ya de plane abesio near before back if ye president plane your high and ka mama frey cry them dakro
no from
mama visa Ghana also can be so make so can be na de ye nti those are the things are there ye bomb de ko form back no matter what they have done America obi ko baby na say di bone kura they try to get a person home nti we say so no students e wo ho e de ko form back na parliament ye can I say ye levy. They say Bibioba can be a ye levy. Bibioba can be a ye levy, which is not fair to us. Because ye levy, no, ya crowd must more accounted for. And so follow parliament. You can, you must have the sporting view, and you can help to some account. They threw this in a way. Say no, they will not account for it. Now the Jim Sika. Now the boom wakuntana, me mouth fra. Also, move a contana. I don't know them the mount. Look, this year levy will never solve our problem. See, ya nyai sa sika say ni enyama ya no a obi ebeto abahuna yetumi high plane e de kwa America ko fa ba. Now betua year levy 7 million or say the and betumi solve your problem. It will never solve the problem. As a country, yen trust you say no, we have messed up. Na yen trust you share near maka kranka.
Ni nyina wo hu. Me da se.
Na say sika jejere de. People are poor.
Okay.
People are poor.
Me da se.
Uba pese ku yen. Na plane onya plane. When you plane na si fam dia, there is no way I bet you attack.
Me da se. Roxindo was a good morning. Is in as much as the MPP government doesn't want the poor Ghanaian doesn't want to tell poor Ghanaian the money involved in the President Charter Plan and no plane, there is no way levy is going to be paid. And wisdom Kuji or say the MPP should admit that they destroyed the educational system. Don Richard or say okay, Richard my timetable be or say Form 2s vacate from 15th April to 25th June. Form 1s reporting on the 4th April, vacating on 21st June. To report, reporting on the 4th April, vacation is 21st June to 3rd September. The calendar has been done in such a way that there will be only 2-year groups in school at a particular period within the semester to avoid congestion. Honorable Richardson. There's a Form 2 and Form 1 and Form 2 for or not Form 3 for fee. Form 2 for Form 3 for not Form 1 for fee. And as a Form 1 and Form 3 for not Form 2 for fee.
Yeah, can't traffic lights. The whole country you win.
And Jonas Ayo says so they are saying that without the levy they can't do anything. Why? if the government stop spending the money, we the citizen, we pay the e-levy. Government is spending too much. Amagana, are you? Edward told say, please, e-levy is better than IMF. Edu Charles Tete, say, please tell the MPP man, Mahama increased student loan over 2,500 a year. Some even got close to 3,000, and I'm a beneficiary. Is he saying this government have increased the loan? Okay, you say journalists must have this information on top of them so that they do. Okay, anyway, what's one dream out there? And okay.
Hello, very much.
Hey, chum. Said in a chum, chaining a chum. Na you know about Kwabena, okay, Chilika Cransono, it's better late than never. Naka Russia and some non Manaka be pa. Boabanaka Caribbean Manakabiano, Mamano Aka. Na Adib Sani, a security and intelligence expert. Adiba Kwaba.
Yeah,
Bibiabo called here.
yeah, the young coupons.
Traffic and I real one answer with the one sorrentum.
So I wouldn't set the engagements. Awesome. But we manage this.
Okay, so the offer Kakra, that's said what you pray now. And see, Chum Bremu Kakrana Femema Uniam Remunia, sir, I dare see over Ukraine, you know. And so so a binya or mine or so. And then as I see, you say, na and quite higher Kowusi be financially, economically, I mean, can say, na yan share no, na fe, yan mana a also say no. And then I'm more a buying, it's because I'm more, I don't just say be more as a party, but government a year at their fan.
So BBC is here.
Yeah, well, 10:21. Until Mama be 7 minutes.
Yeah, so BBC is here. Na woman for especially students crowd baby. Yeah, when Nema aban editor to kwema betimi ama omo ho aheha omo kakra. And now me know ka say. You see, time bia no say yeah discussions are. What the propaganda ne bamu pe. Na wa kwaka bibi na da chicho. And now me know ka say. Claim bi enu a betimi akọ Ukraine say Kwakufo be if you waba.
At this time.
You understand? And sometimes, you know, you see, I mean, person can be able to say, I mean, put an tea and a baby, sir. Plain be no ability media call Ukraine say,
to me,
listen, because the thing is that when the thing was happening, listen,
Exactly.
yeah, like we can make all that statements now. It's the same conversation that we had time COVID by China. I feel the NDC for say, Yanko Franco, baby, say, maybe say, conform bar, the COVID, never Sunday, and all of those things. You see, the truth of the matter is that there's a statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We say, you need embassy in Ukraine, but Switzerland and a share Ukraine. So, in terms of what they are consistently monitoring the issues there and all of those things. And you know, Empire, everybody say, but the truth of the matter is that these issues about Ukraine and suddenly affecting the idea saying homegrown issues. I think say Obia Odi Amano same HBR from time memorial and him said ye Ghana yen koma yedi fiti since me ya kola ni say yes self reliant say ye anka say ye dua ye niema ye anka sa ye refining oil ye crude ye anka say ye dua ye diane ye chechre na yetimi edibi wa ha na edibi kwa ma ni cotton na be ma ye seed no and as ye sika sem no eden a 2 point and all that. These are basic things to talk about. Now, you see, anytime I ever start a conversation about e-levy near the idea, ubeti say if he in your NDC for her banana yen penny and SMU say and penny and all of those things. The reality is that this is a political party and I'm a talk to us about it. Talk to us. So over phone now say okasa e was so unu na ekasa okasa we ya na yatiu. And you took crap once and your friend is saying, what can I say? And I feel, oh, Unio Mukasa could do baby. I'm saying, you call IMF. You call IMF and pen Maku, a doon song. Yeah, yet he said, we ain't any fikakra. If I saw better the brain. Adia IMF de bra and say time omo the last one omo de call and say emebu no a omo wie school a omo akosu apon ni ade wie no ye ntimi fa omo adwuma mu. That is the conditionalities. Any ehun niam bebre that's so affect here. Any yin na ya tena se. Any ya dwe ho say you see the bia can be about informal sector of the economy. Economy na ye wo mo sisi nipa ni bebre e wo emia bi wo ha untimi nhyada emfa bibi emfa omo ho. Nanso no omo ye adwuma economics e fe bi gross national product. Adwuma omo ye wo omani mu nyina no and I contributed to yen development. And abaya tena se ahwe so there's a whole ecosystem in the electronic space. Say be mo mu tua kakra. Ehun hia say ye beko IMF no na yen ye free SHS ye no ye intimi nye. And I say ye nursing training omu train mu ani etua omu tua na omu ja tua na ye tua na intimi.
Mami sa wo de mami.
Mami me when I was obema me trend of thought.
Da bi na me bisa kwese wi anu ato so. Enti say ye tua ye fa ne say ye ko IMF a o mami ye twa free sina ha mu.
No, mean sir. I'm just saying that these are the conditionalities that can come. And I make yes, conditionalities. Answer na ubekwa ako IMF no. Wey and say udi so answer na wako jiska o IMF. Na make say ye per se. Ye nkoma ye di a ye can self reliance ho nsem. Ye per se ye dey ho. Na be say o dey ho a unfortunately though, you have to move your resources internally. Listen, me ka omo amode mobile money and as a technology eba chroma 11 12 13 years ago. Obroni fe bibi ubiquity reach say adibia e wo bebia and say utimi na esonfa so e wo different angles. Enti no South Mary no say o pese o send sika ma o na o we krase a I just cut my station and I say circle and I say okay
I saw the micro the cost station
called money say udu osino bejina ekwan no ho na ma maybe aboduku kokko obejina no agene sika. That is what we inherited. You free stage mu akọ emre a obi wo ha no atena trotro mu and I say ka mu efi akọ salaga so akọ bayre aba onazo okodidwa e wo techiman and I say okoto ebro wa ha okoyese wa ha all of sa nipa ni nyina no e free sa your friend say sector no manual sector no abe riding on what we call that technology platform ni nyina no say be util business even other businesses are that be ebe kan ho asent say Uber nesa courier service ni nyina no then technology don't use they are riding on a government infrastructure. Me know ti high ye interoperability ya wo sika your friend say MTN and as a Vodafone and as a Tigo obetimi sending sika across various channels and as a from a bank account your friend interoperability. It is the most sophisticated in the world. There's a reasimu na no ye bia no na ye advanced pa. And you know once you are able to build a structure like that now I feel the man for no enya resources omode ye enuma omunya revenue near the adeno. It makes sense that you would take something small to improve the system, to also improve the development of your people.
Take something small from where?
From that sector. And that is what I've explained to you. Say. You see, your baby, you have a formal sector. Then you have an informal sector. You see, your movie, your bridges are gap to what we are calling the virtual online digital sector.
From where?
Yeah, so that is why I'm saying that if you are transacting, you are using those platforms and you are transacting. What the government is asking for is that let's pay something small. DBI say, oh, let's expand the tax bracket. Yeah, 30.8 million. And penifua ba beche say so we share 30.8 million now. Yeah, 12% per and it here the friend direct taxes. It yeah say yeah 30 million nipa nchichemu edu mienu pe. And na ye gi omo ho direct taxes. They show you
You interjection.
You understand? You don't have to. No, you understand? You see, all that we are saying is that yes, all the people, money accountability, those are democracy. But if we are thinking about say then we have to start looking within. And to say, to say, our global crisis, in terms of oil, in terms of global supply chain, and then say, crabby, B50, China, bar, answer na COVID, no, bar, $800, and then $8,000. And no, Emma price increases. Emma price increases. We can say. The most important thing, and now, made the say, call a mere no, any gun for AD in Kitaho, AD in Como, Etrom, Dinty, and who been here say, Yen, every tree Adrian Cosis say, who been here say, a beboa buying, nay, near buying, I call Adrian Chrome say, Yentia, levy. Now, because
of accountability, lack of accountability. Say you this kind of ma etua to no a etua to say yenye sika say ye be ba ye we ebu hwa konta frenchima be atumi hu a aka woni tua nya den esensa wo hwe auditor general report e ba ya sa about 12 billion Ghana cedis na eyira no as we speak eni be be wo obeti ye say risk boom be afi ha akoto bank account bi mu account ko meba enti etu pa kire say sansam auditor general kan ani say sika kodi ba bi a ye huye piakfo e dey report bi by say oil money bi we can account for that scan sanya mane nyina eni ho it is accountability wo ho a anka we nka no ansam kan ba dey say dey yake.
You are a renowned journalist we work with more journalism more chroma you see any money bi wo ha there eye obi aboni shema kan
and it dey make mu na no bi boni shema kan ye
say me honorable ti here. So, members of parliament, especially emphasis on the minority side, because we have parliament, I can even add the whole entire parliament. I say, nim acquire, faso, ama abine, are you accountable to them? Make and never has any constituency in Antoine. Because it means that they don't even know what it is. Because in parliament now more honor. There were almost committees, right? Almost saying what say auditor general friend say the audit now or the bar parliament almost abedjo could be a friend public accounts committee almost na say now almost yes animal we na afei so no say opese ubisa ebia minister bi asem on a particular subject almost akwenya say obe friend about parliament na we bisa no ma tutu enuma say ma ache no baby and I say bisa na asem kupoti a open a fake crowd so no a house of records. A house of records which say be a buying kobo besia a buying koye bibi a buying the inside contract biasia a parliament and it's a ultra homba eba be catch me so and a buying ako diske bi wa ha ako yese wa ha na we be so man that means a moon nyam adwuma
but auditor general they are not the
issue
maybe auditor general they are not the buyer no minority for na eka anasa government and as a state institutional ya mandate no so onye na adwuma
but even this conversation around the 12 billion, if you take your time to read the reporter, it talks about different either what they call infractions, misappropriations, ABR reporting and all that. Ube reche na abejoko na na say company na say entity na ya tron ho asem ewo adenimu no. Na all the friend say further and better particulars then aba.
Okay.
But what tends to happen is that they don't do a supplementary audit. Even that one. And that's what I'm saying. You can do further investigation.
Okay, me that's it. I did. What do you have no I mean parliament e be ka kakra bi kakra ya so speaker de ni Ukraine sami you share any economic implication, security implications, and Kasapa. I quite remember, if my memory serves me right, Wabra, Mali for, Epam French soldier for, you information, Mr. Russia soldier for, Abba Mali.
Wagner.
Yes.
From Wagner, only a mercenary force.
Oh, good.
Exactly.
Abba good. It is said Russia for attack Ukraine. That's said the economy. So we share Putin posture. What you say? No bagawaya. He's going all out.
Yes. On Kasabe.
Okay. A woman know that to say bamba. Or can say soldier for no into a binding. It means say or incited the military against the government in Ukraine. Good. And now, what must Malia? What are they doing here? Your former dear, I back say you're more Europe, Yamra ye demo Africa, you can Europe there now, not for Africa, the answer can have Yashi. Your time no call, but to Mamma bear 10 minutes. Nothing meeting what doing.
But with kind permission, me per I mean address E11 within 2 minutes. Okay. There were 3 issues with E11. So and who country me say or China over moving Mount Kilimanjaro. Maybe so. We are sure. He say yes, met to me. Then I'll take you by your words. So media, I mean, I don't know whether MPP sometimes Omukasa they refer to Omu Manifesto in 2016, and they're quite clear. Almost see the gross mismanagement of the Ghanaian economy by the Mahama-led NDC government has resulted in the imposition.
2 against 1.
Oh no!
Impression.
So obviously, Mahama-led administration impose many taxes with an increase in existing ones, thus increasing the burden NERD. And they continue to say the next MPP government under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, therefore, almost shifty focus from excessive taxation to offer the required incentive for productive activities to thrive and help create employment opportunities to tackle the escalating unemployment situation in the country. So, Muna Mukaye say move reduce taxation. And so, in the first place, Ghanaians are taking you by your word.
Which we did. And I can give you 17 new taxes that we reduced. We reduced the benchmark values for 2.5 years, 3 years. We did that, right? And now there are different dynamics as we speak.
It's not your chair.
Okay. No, that means
then my second issue, the fact that I don't know whether communication labs, the impression say you introduce e-levy, a best solve almost your issues, to the extent say even interior minister or say, oh, you're introducing solve all the security sector issues, any challenges, okay. I think it would be a wrong impression owing to the fact say already there were inflows from the cocoa sector, any oil sector, and all other sectors. You make it. And the last thing, then efforts the government make it to get austere, to send a clear message to Ghanaians and say yes indeed, because it's just like me, you share wedding event, then I see you throwing money. After wedding, no, then you come to me and say, we need transport. So if you are able to prove to the citizens, we say, and this is what the efforts government make to get austere, I think a lot more Ghanaians would buy into the idea. Meaning, I don't have any issue, many issues with taxes, so far as it is put to good use. Okay, because then you have a responsibility to play as politicians, as citizens, so that Ghana bet me are coining. And back to the issue of Wagner Group. You see, Russia or posture, they want to reassert authority in the international global stage. Okay, so a year of geopolitical and security experience, they are Putin.
I mean, I learned a lot from that man. Okay, young Kasabi Bray, yet he's full of action and the even though say me are very opposed to idea ekosono. Or no, or you're opposed to the way our Gorbachev, any Boris Yeltsin, Omurani Russia, allowing the small countries, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, any idea, to secede from the USSR in the first place. And Usha Western narrative about Russia, it is said they are a dwindling force. And then also, no, I need to reassert the authority in that region and even beyond. And now, after Malians, Operation Bakan, French forces, any other French-speaking countries, on one to me progresses so far as fighting terrorism in that area is concerned. So Mali almost say, okay, let's look towards the east. And so Omu can recruit Wagner Group, no Russian mercenary force. Omu Wabibia, even Libya, Omu Waho. And Ushe Burkina Faso, Omu Kuno, when people came out in the streets to jubilate, they were actually holding Russian flags. Okay, so Putin, or per se, or Russia to re-emerge, sort of, not just in Eastern Europe, but globally. Okay, and secondly, my business question be, would you prefer that your enemy lives next door to you? So, enuna Russia or because Ukraine or joining NATO, what it means is America and other Western countries or move to military arsenal, you know,
about Ukraine,
which is Russia's next
Ukraine NATO member.
Exactly. So yes, in the future they can stage conveniently attacks against Russia. 1961, because of Cuba, almost belligerent posture towards America, almost idea for a Bay of Pick invasion, failure. So 1962, Russia almost moving missiles to Cuba in response to America, almost moving missiles to Turkey and Italy. And America could not allow that. And now it gave rise to what we call the Cuban Missile Crisis. Okay, so no country, per se, almost security to get compromised in that fashion. Anything or CDB, this is certainly not the way to go. In as much as you're criticizing the actions of the Russians, because they lead to needless loss of life. Okay, and almost estimated say over 5,000 people could flee. 5 million, sorry, people could flee Ukraine into other countries. But at the same time, so you recognize the legitimate security concerns of Russia, and China has said it. Almost UN Security Council, they specifically noted that fact. Okay, so I think say you understand the issues, no, you understand the nuances.
It's say Ukraine air call say NATO for by admitting no, ade na kokushimu no. Eba ne say say America will have access. Any other major countries benya access to Ukraine. No, but you dey you more akodi akwa obi antumi encounter. But the minister said, sir, Russia hunu ni sa okwan a wafa so about 8 years here, according to sources, one plan is say obi sa na moyi no
since 2014.
Yes. Okwan we no obofa so e de ye. We method o mu use, you know, is it the best?
Okay, now we negotiate too. At the point, Sergei Lavrov, Russian foreign minister, or see, now we make gains. Immediately, Russia move soldiers all around Ukraine and Belarus. According to him, U.S. AFI, they are responding to their demands. But meaning, what went wrong? What happened on the way? All of a sudden, Putin say, okay, we are going in. And almost starting as an operation in the Donbass region. Donbass, any Donetsk, any Luhansk. And there were a large Russian-speaking population. Russia and Ukraine, they are almost the same country. Yeah. I mean, from historical antecedents, we realize they are almost the same. Unfortunately, our operation is what culminated into a full-blown
Belarus president called taking part to Mubino.
Exactly. So when our implications, so our name, fuel prices, Brent crude oil are cost through per barrel by over 100, over $100 a barrel. and it would have a direct consequence on fuel prices. I mean, whether you are breaking it, I think 7.99, right?
Yeah, break it.
7.99. Yeah, I'm breaking.
Yeah, break it.
7.99.
Okay, so a very likely say it is likely say fuel prices bet to me unless government takes immediate steps to subsidize. But at this time, dear, I wonder whether government was our capacity considering.
And I mean, Dankanamu Kasawa. Until the Ekoton Amano, and says you young faso. It's a faso near to meet the Sukakra and farmer support.
Net exporter. You produce, excuse me, you produce 99,133 barrels, and you consume 88,000 barrels. And you can fuel prices. We are net exporter. And it should not even affect us. No. It prices in cost. It helps us. It is not all that bad.
When based on the existing protocol between the companies that make up the oil sector,
oil market.
No, even the not the BDTs, the Talo and Adalco and all of those things. There's a structure. So all these 99,000 barrels do not necessarily just come to Ghana, right? Because there's a certain arrangement, there are existing arrangements even prior to that. Yes, of course we can make some gains there and all that, but in reality, the next step is to even think about how you revive and revamp your refinery so that the ones that belongs to us, and now that we are going ahead to even get a lot more fuels we are acquiring more fuels, to be able to refine locally, and so that we are not exposed to the thing. Maybe even expand bust to make sure say
let's talk now.
Strategic reserves
cartel across the political divide, because if we know this,
it is not politics all the time.
So that should tell you something. People benefit from some inefficiencies. Uko Lands Commission, Adenti, it should take you forever to get land title. Adenti, when it could have been a simple process.
About 3 times.
Destiny Krabia said, "Good morning. How are we going to evacuate them from Russia, from Ukraine? Russia has banned every plane. Yes, and we should be anywhere. Ukraine, say." I say, Game Boy, GH, I say, I don't like IMF. But at the moment, I can see that our president don't listen to anyone. So what we can do, so that he should go to IMF, he should go to IMF for them to put some restrictions on him to stop the renting private jets and stop his expensive lifestyle and do the right thing for the good people of Ghana. And I say, or no, say, you John Kwabena say they will spend more money on traveling around the country doing town hall meetings by the time e-levy may be passed. And town hall, more so called. I'm okay. Parliament, the Akoswano, and I say, mo speaker, at Sia, mo Mamuluk Samuel Kada, and Ramitier, Subin MP, Eugene. I remember Eugene said, speaker no more Casa William Colebina Mufio. Emma no cracker said he's going overboard. And my also what's going on in Parliament?
Okay, Parliament, Speaker, or a certain authority. Mamenika and
Honorable wouldn't watch your 12 minutes.
Yes, 12 minutes. Okay. Now, net exporter of fuel and the young can yes, I check him. Then my public can say oil price and cost in a way, yes, say taxes crown general those companies know and also cost because the amount of oil we export goes up and we get more into any all that negative. Won't you near mouse or catching it more edges can we? And I who beside people had time with my come on tax waivers. This other people from parliament. So we go through say, oh, Jimmy poor mother work kurase or send it 200 cities are what you know. Now, big companies, tax waivers are every time you're in the parliament. I am share. Then you cronies. Now, the idea about
you sit in parliament. That is my point. That's my problem with you.
Yes, you're there.
When you're member of
tax
parliament.
Tax waivers.
When you're member of parliament.
And they say, yeah, they want more. Musu. What say? $8 million US. Yeah, they one tax waiver.
Yes, the amount of the ban.
Montreal tax.
8 million Montreal.
8 million Montreal. 8 million Montreal. Another one. Just one other people. 1.724 million. I know ya waiver man. Another one. And also just one other paper. $1.389 million. My own tria. So if you do these things, open homegrown a year. Near poor people na baji jomoska. Says Kafuya, or this sketch. Obli Mama, no one fetch it. No Mako Jomshe. President,
I would just so be expressed.
I don't like this kind of conversation.
What is the rationale?
But you sit in parliament and you approve it.
Does that mean say
you approve it? You're a member of parliament. So if you approve it and then you come back around and
Parliament, we have 130 years, 137. You're too about even by one when we need.
But when it's convenient for you, it's parliament. When it's not convenient for you, the is a minority and a majority.
You see, tax waivers, no, a dozen.
Okay.
So almost share anymore. Why you don't give tax waiver to everybody? The known people. President ni ebesi a hotel. I wish I me buy hotel na obesi no. Tax waiver the man no. I've forgotten the figure. This how Kasaka say ye about more than $10 million. I mean obesi hotel. How many people is he going to employ? I ain't dine obesi no. Your man is a quantity.
What's the president name? President name?
I was an accountant or some accountant. Yes. Yeah, man, it's a tax waiver and hotel. I always know. I can give it the right name.
So won't carry the end of the trace and then call.
Okay, wait there, wait a while. It's homegrown. You are tax waivers. Now, yeah, men beg.
It was just a tax waivers and SSC.
Edgy, or bar, offer you.
Okay,
so he sets up the company. No, Rania. We can give the tax while the company is running.
Okay.
And yes, okay. Yes, yeah, this one, loans imagine you would the loans pucha. They say, yeah, you cry. Sika odi etua mohono akwama a broso tax no. They say no ya pim ya gi tax ya gi sika busia me yentumi. Eti o kan speaker and somebody ka say ka ba broso mo gi sika no loans ni nyina ma fa anya hwe man yehu mahamaji odisi airport odisi school da yehu odi yeden odi consumption kura na mo de sa sika pudua within this 5 years margin a broso sne from Kwame Nkrumah time ebe pin Mahama time sa sika no odi yeden sa sika we kura ye dia wie anso ye ya e fe de
me da see levy into the parliament no speaker who 1 minute
aya next time for bra na ye me kasa asem no 1 minute speaker I be them who say he has been in parliament for a very long time and an age, you know, so sometimes a person of my order about parliament because sometimes phone near the encounter where we and me address you and you may be about to say tax revenue near the ID and you're interesting. It's almost your bones and me on phone so to be on what the civil call. Sadiana speaker, I'm saying why you're very strict on and a lateness near the yes a woman. Sometimes I know what's not such a no break. Oh, sorry, and I think he wants to stamp his authority. See, if you're not in work of parliament, no, a year absenteeism, that's why because that abrochima, you play for banner, and also so or can say, young fair, na yay. It's more or less no, or per se parliament, a year organized, well organized, which I don't see anything wrong. Maybe your Kasa, with his age and with his experience in parliament, you know, by a friend Fado, and the crowd said no, yenjai. Because there is nowhere in the world that a speaker ever your friend of a parliament. But I believe say I know you're better than Obia say a crow a shamra no ba no betuagu. ɛno no ho asɛm na ɔdɛ
medase twum so ma me must say minute no time na so ba me ma
say you see parliament omo chair say they are masters of their own rules mebwa and you know I think say obi or parliament is responsible enough to be able to understand their issues. I believe strongly that the speaker, if he tries to assert authority, but they are, say the Honorable Eugene Kai, these are also adults. And you know, send your own Obeka Nafa and the way I would compose the conversation is also very important. I mean, because of the very nature, who says it's a hang parliament. I say parliament, you know, I friend is saying, Mwapai. And you know, it looks like there's a lot more tension now than even previous parliaments. But it also gives them another opportunity that this 8th parliament, with all the things that have happened, still have an opportunity to go down in history. Say, Omuna, Ebia, they had a certain consensus in terms of your direction, as a country. And you're just criticizing for the sake of it and disrupting government business for the sake of it. Me, this idea, or the other people are there to her about tax exemptions, new waivers and all that. If it's a national conversation that we want to have, we can have that conversation. But you can't sit there and approve the thing and now come and wave the people around as if that is a government when you did the approval. And once something is approved in Parliament, you have a responsibility. You have to go to tell your constituents why you approved it. But you can't take one side of the thing that is your responsibility and move away from it. And then a banner can be about Abaya. Also, I know they are buying, but it has nothing to do with you. I don't think that is fair commentary. Again, the reason why some of these tax exemptions and waivers are done is because of the investment. So they look at the contribution that particular entity would make into the economy over a period. But if we want to review it, let's review it. Because you see, another thing, when it comes to foreign direct investment, we are competing with other countries. Obi per se, obesi ni factory wa. Obeti mi asa India kwa si Ivory Coast, and I say Togo, and I say Benin, and I say Baby Fofo. And you know what the government does is to give him a certain incentive. Say instead of so wakwa si wo Baby Fofo no, oba be si wa ha. Na edi ejuma aba, na edi mpuntu aba. Na obesi na edru impempen so bia ya start ya general tax. This is a very simple, common economic idea. But if we want to delve into specifics, ABR campaign at the Kwabena, and as Yanka said, specific companies in a particular sector, no investment, we can do that. We are still saying the same thing over and over again. Say, here, especially with COVID. COVID by and who say even China na obiade ni ni ato mo so say be producing e man na akwama no ni bia na fe production e ma entino enema ye aman a ti betimi aye wo ha no na hu hia say ye be dey ye be kra efi amanoni aba nanso do ye be hyemu kena entino aban that is government's position and ye ma ye ni call one district one factory ho say ye be boa planting for food and jobs.
Back
the
to
Ghana Cares program.
Sa eniyama no ye be petam na ezika so Ghana Care ni hwan na system na asefo no e policy bi e ba enyamai
ebi wa ha
Ghana Care no enyamai
Ghana Care na ye hu adwuma
enya start operation fully no
start opa invite me ma be church Ghana
Care Ghana Care was one no pese e be kan asem because ye nani ntina but wo da wura mate it back to parliament wo just 1 minute pe
me there me say they have a personal responsibility to themselves and to their constituents. And they may be in this particular parliament. Omwankasa impeni for ababonti ababe pacho say entry. Going forward, media I believe say democracy na and say obi a na dream. And intellectual debate say etre we be na oni man so any talk. Now we knew animals only when you adrian na akonwa kra speaker to so mo kwa train
Yeah, Mount
fitness
Sasha.
na so mo kwa eti so fra so ma work if you do that then you're creating confusion that should not really be the
tax
case.
waiver system I think say we shall you see nya tampa na ye hwe company na ye man tax waiver no or ye international company efiama no ne na aba Ghana na ye man tax waiver na say Ghana ni ye man tax waiver
obia to be apply for
meba say me asem na America we are competing with international country other countries investors intino obviously so nipa fiama no ne ba bi ba Ibes intina me say ye mi say onipa na ye man tax waiver no o se fatase de man no ana
and I say a case by case
intina make say the same thing America no
say I will be saying I can say ejuma na honorable
ye be hwe
ne go for example ye
say
na we say we you too man na say we
o se fatase de man no ana Adip
well me sure say since independence any government can boast say or more tax waivers
bia maybe
cartel across media, I mean, you're opposed to tax waivers. Obviously, a competition, and you would have to stand out. Sometimes, you would have to reduce your price and any ID. Okay. However, like has been agreed by everybody here, there's the need for more transparency in that process, so it doesn't become idea yedi macroni spare, and those who deserve it are not given. We rather give it to those that don't deserve it. And finally, the issue here evacuation. No, even if the Russians had not placed an air embargo, still very dangerous to even attempt to fly students out, because examples were MH17 SAR flight almost shooting in eastern Ukraine by Russian-backed separatists, resulting in the deaths of about 293 people. Later, we realized it was a mistake, a passenger airliner. The same thing, Iran. At the time, I almost retaliated after Suleiman was killed, almost so inadvertently, almost down in civilian airliner. So at this time, there, Adibia Ewan from is seen as a threat, whether on the Russian side or Ukrainian side. So Ankebe very dangerous. Even at the moment, road transport also they are quite dangerous. But what I'm thinking is, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ankara, they could have been a bit more proactive rather than reactive. Because Western intelligence will be pointed to the fact that Vladimir Putin invaded. There was an imminent attack. And at that time, and so we had different countries evacuating all the citizens. So I feel, say, at that time, now there was a window of opportunity to evacuate these.
Yes, you delay now because all the signals now, I say some so, but we know.
Because I mean, moving well over 100,000 troops to identity, you know.
But Ukraine president can say, yes, I'm saying, mama. They were rejected. No one is fighting with them, and we show almost some posture. Do you think Sanka is to me a tone down? I bet you because I'm not share. I'm a former president, you know, or can he pay? Can say, wouldn't pay for any. My main counsel, or can I say, Vladimir Putin, mad. So about them or can you pay? There's a woman you never cheat you, no matter what so oh share the might of Russia, not to Ukraine, what to say Ukraine, but the woman that could be Asia, when you say no so bet your ma would you know a cosul be
because currently Vladimir Putin or say lay down on Mutu, and they should even turn against the government. And just about some few hours ago, Ukrainian president or your video BRC, I'm still in charge and would not give in to that pressure. No. But there's something worth understanding where powers flexing on muscles, unfortunately, on Ukrainian turf. So Ukraine is at the receiving end, but between Russia and West, the same thing. Turkey, Syria. You have Turkish interest, Saudi interest, Emirati, Qatari, Americans, Russians. Who call Libyans, Egyptians, Saudi Arabians, almost supporting Haftar, warlord, no, who call Mali, who call Bibia, or more interest. And interest is what makes us suffer. Almost see when two elephants fight, it is the grass.
It would say, Russia, if we are Mali,
yes. Yes, because another conduit for clash between West and East, just as a Kosovo And like I indicated, Russia almost reasserted more authority globally, and even China, who call Djibouti, Americans are more largest military base in Africa, Cameroon. Okay, just a few kilometers from there, Chinese almost set up almost military base. So it is various countries, powers, almost flexing, almost muscles. Unfortunately, we are suffering.
Yan ye huna mane dia na sese yeso yesi etena se ne adwene ye hu ye bi se ho questions bebre so man so den ye dia ma ye ho
ubisa be question ka mama mfa answer no ema wo ha because ubisa be say president na konta no Ghana web if you go there he says he was given $24 million tax waiver. Dr. Kwame Nyantechi Owusu, one of President Akufo-Addo's in-laws, Kwame Nyantechi Owusu is married to Regina, the younger sister of Rebecca Akufo-Addo. 24. No, this is some of the Obesi Hotel. Hotel in Yaman or the Ebano, equipments no. And Yaman 24 million.
But now Parliament.
Okay.
That was the 7th Parliament. And now more to me, Booby Biagu so 169, yeah 106. And the baby most of the time, yes, sorry. I fear you're saying sorry. Yeah, it's now.
Men say
so. Me mama akababi.
It's a bishop you when they are called.
Me mama invitation.
Yababa wachi. Yababa yababa beta wachi. I will prove so.
A manso me fi.
Yababa do. Ono ye onunyafo Peter ya kwache aka ono emrase bedwani ma Amafi Central ma bedwafo emrase dwano na se abato pesua no dance so nya brebaye Eric Amakuchu mu nso ono eye MPP communication team member Macho Man wono nso eba ma MPP na fe Adip Sani ono security and intelligence expert wono nso ede na enunyam eba beta achiri ene ye komo twetwe no school for no de no hu hia me pass anso na Ukraine de no so hu hia me pass ye ma o Ukraine as we speak mpa ya na yebekọ so abode amaomo na obibi o yebetumi aye a yenya ne tentententema ansa na yema akọji nsem ade ama yema nyina meda production team na se obi mpe rich ahofe okito na wo hu okito na fe miama ofase Randy na fe yatema a obo me powder bidin ye de Agya Kwabena yenya kopon ye ho aye adomo a yebesa ne mo ahia dasene am ye de komafa critical issue ho kọsahwe UTV sanse it's all about you yakram